Hello, ladies and gentlemen around the world. My name is Jae-won Peter Chan again. I'm the president of World Smart Cities Forum as well as the CEO of Accenture. So Accenture is a London and New York-based tech accelerator. We are basically giving a lot of contributions to the ecosystem of London. So we're based in Level 39, which is Europe's largest open tech cluster. Personally, I've been involved with many different smart city projects as a master planner in the US and Europe and Asia. So currently we are working on the Hanoi Smart City project in Vietnam and the Lviv Smart City projects in Ukraine based on mandate agreement between the central government and municipalities and our organizations. So this is one of the branch activities that we invite the high potential startups around the world to get them involved with the smart city project in Ukraine and Vietnam in the future. From some of them possibly maybe working in the US and the European markets. So we have, as of a series of the Accenture Open Tech Day, this is the fifth one, started from January of this year. So there were already 13 companies presented for today. So these two are the last startups. And the Adi Benari, he's a CEO of Applied Blockchain based in Level 39 in London. And we have Shasha from Vision, AI companies from Ukraine. So I'm actually looking forward to the brilliant presentations from you guys. The rule is that each one of you spend 8 minutes for the presentation. And we have judges from many different places, and some of them, they are, in the middle of the night, so they are not shown here, but they'll be actually listening to your presentation. We bring all the questions and the feedbacks from them to you. I just forward it to you. So if Adi, if you're ready, then you're just good to go.
Okay, thank you very much, Peter. I hope you can see my screen. So my name is Adi Benari. I'm the founder and CEO of a company called Applied Blockchain. I'm going to present to you a bit about the company, but also about a platform we've developed, which shows a new approach to data, and it's called Silent Data. And I'll show you this in the context of the smart city. So, as a company, we develop blockchain solutions, and
Ali, I'm sorry. Yep. I think maybe everybody should be muted because I hear lovely dogs barking and the phone.
So no, it's actually it's my own name.
Oh, it's for me. Okay. No problem. Okay.
Yes, I have a dog. Sorry.
Carry on.
Okay, so we as a company we offer blockchain. We build blockchain solutions for clients. And we also offer this unique platform called Silent Data. And Silent Data is really about a different way of sharing data between applications and between companies and entities and individuals. And it's about sharing data without revealing it. So just a bit more about our background. We've done lots of projects with lots of big and small companies to implement blockchain solutions in different ways. Probably our most notable has been with Shell, the energy company, where we helped Shell to create the first blockchain-based derivative trade. And we now have a platform which has been live for almost 3 years and is a very, very strategic platform for them. In terms of other clients we've worked with, similarly Toyota, KLM, Sita, various banks, United Nations, and so on. So we have a lot of experience working in the blockchain space. And through this experience, we learned a lot about how companies work with data with each other. And in the context of smart cities, we really think about the customer or the citizen data, in particular their location data, but also the financial data, because they're typically transacting, making payments, and so on within the context of the smart city. Now, today we're in a world where really data is freely flowing. And I'm sure that many of the solutions that you're witnessing and promoting in relation to smart cities really revolve around the fact that around the fact that data can be consumed, can be collected, can be shared. There is, of course, a risk associated with that, And that is that the data which may be considered private to the individual is put at risk if it's shared and if it's put onto more and more systems. And this is also a risk for the companies themselves, because we have cyber risk, we have cyber theft, we have state-sponsored cyber, and we have cyber criminal attacks and so on, and sale of the data on the dark web. And unfortunately, this isn't just a side issue. It's a very central issue today. It happens all the time. So we're promoting a way of having smarter solutions while sharing less data. And it's possible through this new technology. So when we think about data today, some data we share, some of it we keep secret. And we think the best way to protect sensitive data is not to share it at all. Okay? Now, smart city operators today, if people are only sharing the data that they're comfortable sharing, and it's not the sensitive data, then there's a bit of a blind spot, right? And how do we work with data that we're not going to share or that is sensitive? Now, imagine that imagine you could get access to this sensitive data. So imagine you could get assurances about sensitive data held in other systems or by other people. Imagine you could gain assurances about people's location, about compliance, about financial data. And imagine you could do all of that without actually having to take the risk associated with acquiring that data, right? So having location data you can obviously provide and target lots of different services. Having the financial data enables you to have insights about people's behavior and financial habits, and also to process transactions. So we've created a platform which really creates a new paradigm with the data. And we're using a new generation of cryptography to enable different parties to collaborate with private and sensitive data without having to share or reveal it. Okay. The platform itself, you can go to silentdata.com and see it. The initial implementation is using financial data from banks. But the same can be applied to location data, smart city, government data sources, smart city applications, and so on. And what you'll see is that you can get digital certificates that provide proof about certain aspects of the data. So, for example, we can prove someone has been within the vicinity of a city or a location within that city, a geospace, without actually sharing their actual location and their actual movements. And we can prove that fact through the cryptographic proofs that we receive through the platform. Similarly, we can prove that somebody is within certain, maybe certain behaviors based on their data, or certain financial demographics based on the data, but without sharing any of the underlying data. And we're not just passing this, we're proving it. We're proving that we have data underneath to back this up, but we're not sharing the data itself. So we're providing maximum data privacy. And this can be enabled for mobile applications. We can plug into any third-party APIs, and we can even do this on IoT devices. So now you can imagine the personal data, the location data, the financial data, the customer's data not being moved around between different applications, not being shared, but still being able to get the insights that we need to get without taking the risk about the data. In terms of the company itself, this is the team, and we actually have a strong link to Hong Kong. Our lead investor is a fund called QBN Capital, which is led by some prominent investors in Hong Kong. And so we have a kind of gateway into the environment, and are really looking to become more active in the region. And that's it for silent data on applied blockchain. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Adi. So there has been some kind of progress in comparing to the last year. So,
well, we have a live application in production. So this is now in production. It's been security audited. It's used by real customers. So previously we were developing it. Now it's fully functional, live, and all the technology has been proven.
So who are your biggest clients at the moment?
So right now it's consumers of financial data. And so these are really businesses that want to be able to make checks about their clients, about their financial affordability, behavior, and so on. But these clients don't want to share their transactions. So now we can enable the AI and the queries to be made on the data in a privacy-preserving environment, so that the companies get the information they need, they get the results, but they don't get access to the underlying data.
Okay,
so the consumer keeps the data privacy.
Right.
And so at the moment we see that live already in the UK and in the EU for financial checks. And we want to do the same thing for location data, and that's really where we see the opportunity in smart cities. If we combine the financial data, the demographics, and the location data, these are really sensitive data sets, right? Most individuals start, I think you can provide a more protective service to the customers, to the citizens, and also to your own company, if you use the data in a way that you don't hold it and don't risk it, right? So you get the answers you need, but you don't have to deal with the data directly. You don't create this honeypot of data which is attractive for a cyber attack, right? You can remove that, and you can still get the results you need.
Is there any kind of difficulties and any kind of challenges with the GDPR issues?
No, it's the opposite. This is the dream of GDPR. So GDPR talks about data minimization. That's one of the principles. This is it, right? You can do stuff without needing the data. Then you should do it, right? That's how GDPR is described. GDPR has a principle, privacy by design. So when you design the system in the first place, every step you have to think about what's the most privacy constraining way to build this. So this is GDPR, right? This solution is like the manifestation of GDPR.
I see.
And now that the technology is possible, it's kind of mandated. It's implied because it's possible to do this way. You now have to do it this way. That's how GDPR works. Because you can make it more private, now you need to.
Right. So because the conditions in, for example, Vietnam and Ukraine. So Ukraine is actual war, so they're actually focusing on much more about cybersecurity and data protections.
Yeah.
So that is something that we are looking at more, extensively about in how to just collect the data and how the data can be secured. Who's going to actually control those data, and what kind of platform can be applied to.
We believe, or I believe, that the only place data should sit is its source. Right. So wherever the data is generated, it sits there. It shouldn't have to move in most cases, right? You can just move proof about the data, outcomes, insights. But the data itself, given the technology we have available today, the data doesn't need to move anymore. And if you stick to that principle, then the cyber risk, goes down, right? Because the footprint of data goes down.
Have you spoke with the one of the government agencies in the UK, like a DIT or?
Only when we first started looking at this, to be honest. We haven't really been back to them.
And how about the European governments? And because they're so much sensitive about that.
Yeah, the only government. We've been working with the FCA on because we've been doing this work around the open banking APIs.
Sandbox, right?
Yes, and of course the regulator is very positive about this because it's further protection for consumers.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. It's not at the cost of the startups, because the startups still get the insights, right? The applications that are built still get the insights.
Yeah, we definitely.
It's a win-win. It's a win-win.
Yeah, we definitely talk about that. Kind of another. It's not about a regulatory tech sandbox. Probably maybe a small city tech sandbox. In London, probably we can actually take advantage of the ecosystem of Level 39, but it depends on the process of pandemic. You just go to the office?
Yeah, I was there yesterday.
Really? So
it's still a good view.
How many people there?
It's probably it feels like on the main floor, maybe 30-40%.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting. All right.
Yes,
So
that's not bad.
do you have any questions about Adi and his Selena? You're muted. You're muted.
Nice to see you again, Adi. It's so, yeah, I see something changing there, and congratulations. I think I have feedback, not questions. So I would like to know, like in Asia, like the big city, 12 million, people in Vietnam, and with the policy like this, how fast they can change, like 5 years or something, and why they can apply fast when they apply your product in this city like Ho Chi Minh City, we have 12 more million people,
Yeah. Do you mean from the regulator's perspective? What should they do in terms of this this approach?
How far they can change, because when you apply in the big city, right? So we care about how much revenue you can gain like next 1-3 years. So in the big city, it's not B2C, right? So how fast you can put them to on the process.
Yeah. Look, you have different forces at play here, right? You've got the companies who generally want as much data, to collect as much data as they can. You've got the consumers who don't really, in most cases, don't really understand the implications of data being shared, right? And then you've got the cyber attacks, which happen all the time, which the governments are concerned about, right? And also companies are concerned. So we think the best result is to encourage companies to minimize the data they actually process, but still be able to do everything they needed to do as if they had the data, right? And the interesting thing is the technology is now making this possible. Now, for the regulator, some of the way the GDPR has been mandated is interesting, because it doesn't say a specific solution. It just says you have to choose the best solution that minimizes the use of the data to still let you do what you need to do in your business. Right? So I think this is a good approach, because it allows for the moving target of the technology. As the technology allows you to protect the data better and better, you have an obligation to protect the data better and better.
Like who in it,
Yeah, but I don't know how easy it is to enforce. I mean, I was just reading today about the fact that everybody got very scared about GDPR and started acting on it. In practice, there haven't been many cases. So now they're gonna start doing more cases. So it does need to be enforced as well, I guess, right? Which is the hard part.
Cyber security.
Yeah, but I think also companies, it's a big risk, right? There's so many cyber attacks that we just don't hear about, right? And there's so much going on, and companies spend so much money protecting this data, right? Protecting their estate. And actually, one way is to build walls, and another way is just to reduce the honeypot inside, right? And so and we think that's the way it's going to go, because if you can still get the insights you need and not have to hold this liability to the same extent, then it will make sense for everybody.
Okay.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you, Adi. So
thank you, Adi.
Stand by, and we just invite Sasha to the next round.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you. Hi, Sasha. Thank you for
Hi. How are you doing? I'll start sharing my screen. 1 second.
Okay, go ahead. Just let me know if you're ready.
1 second. I need to open system preferences to share the screen. I don't know why it stopped working just right now.
It's gonna take a little while. So there's a button down there. Share screen.
I understand that the thing that this website doesn't work in Safari, which I usually prefer to use. I know. Can you see my screen right now?
Not yet, but
okay.
If you
so I have to open my Mac preferences, and it's pretty hard.
Yeah, you just click on the share button.
It's not just like that. I have to quit the Chrome and reopen it right now just to start sharing. Excuse me, I'll start doing it right now.
Okay. All right. So in the meantime, Selena, so how's everything in Vietnam right now? So how about the COVID-19 situation in Vietnam? because I haven't heard from anything what happened from Vietnam yet. So you're muted. Can you unmute that?
Sure. So, unexpected situation in the north, in industry zone, there are big cluster, and we already have Indian new virus, in both big city, Ho Chi Minh City, and in the north. And in Saigon, there are one new cluster, and it already in the community, so that's why we like shut down business. The office, you can go there, right? But like bar, restaurant, only 20 people, bar closing, and now so many business from tonight
So
have
how many confirmed cases happened in Saigon?
Only 36 in Saigon.
36. How about Hanoi?
Hanoi is less, but another province, remote city, like Bắc Ninh and Bắc Giang, they are 1,000 now.
So you're not allowed to travel between the cities?
From the north come here, they have to be quarantined and check negative before enter to airplane, even in the domestic. So I'm not traveling right now.
How about vaccine? So the government...
so slowly. Vaccine so slowly. Even we order from Pfizer and some other company, but it's like only around 2 million, shots arrive and using apply ready, and still like 13, 14 million waiting like 1 month or 3 weeks,
Where is Adi? Adi, are you there?
He lost the connect.
Adi, are you there? Oh, Sasha is here. Okay.
Okay, so you can see me right now. Yeah?
Let's go.
Okay, so hi everybody. As you know, my name is Sasha, and today I would like to talk about the most important things that we have in life, especially health. So the problem is that only 10% of world's population has access to good health care, and there are from 40,000 to 40 million cases of medical error every year, and it's only in the United States. And half of the world doesn't even can rely on constant and quality medical care. And most often, doctors make mistakes with serious consequences in the diagnosing of infections, cardiovascular diseases, and cancer diseases. So we as a team analyzed like nearly 11,000 cases of diagnosis errors. And from the database of insurance company Creco, it's open, we can see that 74.1% of diagnostic errors are errors in sphere of cardiovascular diseases, as I said, infections, and cancer. And we know that it's pretty bad because it can lead to blindness, limb loss, brain damage, or even the death of the patient. So we offer a new approach. It's called Vision. So what is Vision? Vision is a software that analyzes medical records, and as an outcome, it generates diagnosis suggestions or prognosis to prevent medical errors. Vision can also give advice and direct additional tests for complete diagnosing accuracy. Okay, so there are a lot of things that Vision analyzes, but let's start with an X-ray. After you upload it to Vision, the image goes from raster to vector image. Also, Vision finds spots where there can be something wrong. And after you upload it to Vision, Vision uses X-rays for classifiers, and the whole combination can tell whether what diagnosis it is. Also, important element in generating a diagnosis are medical notes. They are widely used in medicine, especially in Western medicine. So when the patient comes to doctor just records everything patient says, just like, I don't know, my left back scratches. That can be something like, there are a lot of details that may seem not important, but they are important when you see the whole picture. So using Vision, you can also make voice notes on your phone and just record how you feel. Also tell what's wrong, how you feel, and everything. And then vision uses medical notes from your phone, uses medical notes from your doctor to generate a better diagnosis. What else? 100% of the data that we use is encrypted and safe. The process takes place in a single core large cluster, and it's fully encrypted. So only the owner and trusted people who have access key to vision can see diagnosis, health state, and any other data. And all password and secrets, they live in a world service. And it's all totally encrypted using the latest technologies. And from conversations with radiologists, we've been working on the project for 4 years. We learned that large hospital can produce like hundreds or even thousands of X-rays per day, and some of them they need to be read just after they are made. So in a short period, and sometimes it's really hard. It takes a lot of time, and doctors just don't have enough time to read them, especially during these days of coronavirus when there are not enough of doctors. I don't know how about the whole world, but in my country there is a huge problem of lack of doctors, medical personnel. So vision helps to read the X-rays, and just it just tells the proposition of diagnosis to doctor, and doctor just needs to say if it's true or if it's false. So the whole system, how user has access to the vision, it's an application, and also it's a web interface. You can go just to vision.ai. It's not available yet, but we're working on it. Upload your X-ray, upload your blood analysis, upload your medical notes, and see what diagnosis you have. Also, vision uses the Apple Health Kit data. It uses data from your Apple Watch. It can be Android Watch. It can be data about your sleep. Every part of data that about your health that your phone collects. So it helps. So how vision generates money? We highlight 3 sources. It's monthly subscription to the service by users, it's sales to the clinics, and referral system for attracting a new audience. And one of the most important parts in generating money by vision are insurance companies that we plan to work with, because the data from vision can be used to generate insurance coefficients in the future. Also, we plan to give free subscriptions to people in Bangladesh, India, and other countries with low quality of medicine. So that's pretty much it.
Thank you very much, Sasha.
Mm-hmm.
So, are you okay with your computer, your laptop? It's almost
not really.
battery.
Not really. My battery is low. It didn't open first time well. I don't know. It's crazy. You know, it's in the last moment. It always happens.
Right. So basically, in the beginning of your presentation, so only 10% of the people around the world, they actually just get access to the healthcare. That's really shocking news. The purpose of the smart city, mission of the smart city is making all people, residents there, achieve the pursuit of happiness. They should be like well served in a way of the many different the aspects of the services that surrounding them, right? So the healthcare is more important these days because we already suffer from pandemic, and still during pandemic we never know exactly what happened. So the thing is, again, data. I mean, about kind of data securities and everything, and also I have some concerns about many different countries, and a lot of Asian countries, for example, they are so sensitive to share the medical data with third party organizations or something. So even you are actually hospitalized at the hospital, right? So or clinic, you have an operation, you have a scan, and once they actually just take a shot of the patient's the body by scanning it, And even though it's yours, but it's not yours. You're not actually just maybe copying and you bring the data of the scan to, bring them into the other hospitals or clinic centers. So that's why the sensors and the healthcare services is really kind of difficult situations in many countries now. So your ideas is actually, my question is, your the solutions and the services basically based on the healthcare data is in Ukraine, or you're actually targeting on other countries to expand your business? You are muted. You are muted.
Okay, I'm sorry. We're aiming for the whole world because we're not taking only X-rays, but I will say it anyway. X-rays are the most popular for a few reasons. First, it's not a lot of radiology like the things. It's cheap. That's one of the main reason, and it's unified. It's everywhere. Wherever you go, you can go and have an X-ray. That's the first thing. The second thing is we're not making an online doctor. It's not a thing that will cure you or say like your diagnosis. We're making a thing that helps doctor to avoid errors. But if you don't have any doctor around, that's the best solution for you. If you are somewhere in the country where it's war, it can be whatever. You can be in a country where pandemic is. You can go out. You cannot go out to the doctor. You cannot see the doctor because you cannot go to the hospital. And sometimes different things may seem not important. I don't know, just itchy hand or something like that, but it can lead to various different consequences if we do not start treating and doing things. So the first thing that we're aiming at, the first country is US, Great Britain, and European countries, because the medicine is developed there and vision is just the next step for them. It's the next step just to unify it, just give users instant communication with medicine. I wouldn't say doctor, because it's in your smartphone. You can go to sleep, you can have a headache, you can just say I have a headache, and the application will remember it. And if you have it every day, it will give you advice, I know, to air the room before the night. But in the countries where there are no doctors, for example, like India, Bangladesh, we're not even planning to generate income. We plan just to give out free subscriptions for people to have the opportunity just to, I don't know, just to know what's wrong with their health. Because, usually people who have internet and have problems with their health, they just go out there, Google it, and it's 99% it's a wrong thing. Google always says that you have, I don't know, cancer, but it's wrong. There are a lot of jokes about it when you Google the things that you have, like a headache, and Google says that you have a cancer. So that's the problem. And especially in Ukraine, it's the healthcare system, it's all like, I don't know, messed up, as I would say. So the vision is something that will bring unification, something like that, where you can keep all your data, where you don't need to go to one clinic, get the physical copy of your x-rays, go to another. No, that's the last century. We want to make technology work for the healthcare system. That's our main goal.
That's great. Okay, well said. I mean, as you said, it's very complicated, the sectors that we're just talking about, the healthcare industries. I might have maybe further questions, but I just maybe toss it over to Selena. I think you have some questions about business model, revenue models, and patents.
Thank you. So, thanks, Sasa. I have the question is, so did it based on machine learning and big data, right? So how you accept to the data from the hospital, especially in your your country,
Okay. Okay, so our story with this project is really interesting, because to make a project like that work, you need big data just to make the AI learn. But you need data, it needs to be depersonalized. You don't need to know the person's name and everything. So first we started thinking about the making, like, I don't know, free gifts for people who will be volunteers, but it's impossible to gain several thousand people on your startup without any budget. I mean, with budget from your own. So the thing that we found, the databases that were ready already, we connected with American professor that like specializes in it, and he was really, he's such a great man that he shared the whole database with us just for our AI to learn. So that was a good thing.
Thank you. Maybe the second question. So where the main revenue stream come from?
Okay,
Bigger Planet Health Hospital.
Okay, so it's really complicated because there are a lot of ways of income, but I will try to concentrate on several. For example, we start partnership with a clinic. So clinic has its own, I wouldn't say customers, but I don't want to say patient. It's more like its own audience. And people who go to that clinic can rely on doctor, and doctor just has an assistant that is called Vision, and it's in computer. From the moment that person steps in the room, Vision listens to the person. It also can see who it is, how old is the person, and everything, just via camera and microphone. That's all Vision needs, and internet. Vision records data, and so first it's audience of clinics. Second, it's insurance companies audience. For example, you buy an insurance, and insurance companies give you a free subscription to Vision. How come would company do it? Because if you buy I'm sorry, if you buy insurance this year, the chance that you will buy it next year is extremely high. And next year you may get, like how they do it in car insurance. If you got in a traffic accident, insurance next year will be a little bit more expensive. The same thing here, but the insurance company doesn't surely know if you had a headache like 2 days ago, or maybe something else. So the good thing that for insurance companies, that they can see the real state of your health, and it's updated like every 2 months. And insurance companies just buy subscriptions and gives it out to people, to the audience. So that's the first thing. The third thing is, as I said, we are startup, so we don't have a lot of money for marketing. So the best decision was to make a referral program. For example, if I have Vision, I can tell you about the Vision, you download the Vision, and then I gain points, like inside points in Vision, and I can spend them on the subscription, or I can just make it my job to tell people about Vision and make money on just inviting people. So that's the third step.
Interesting. Okay, so
let's talk later.
Yeah, more questions, but
on the email.
We don't have much time right now. So I appreciate if you, okay, Adi is here. Adi Benati is here in the backstage. So yeah, so if you share the deck with us, with me, then I'll actually just share it with other judges. Then we just let's have a follow-up call later on. So yeah, looking forward to it. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you for your the participation and the contribution. Yeah, I really enjoyed it. Thank you very much. All.
Nice meeting you.
Nice meeting you too. Selena. Yeah, Selena. So thank you very much again to your amazing contributions again. So probably maybe we can see you next time again. All right.
So exciting, very nice. A lot of good startup. So happy to be a part.
Okay.
Thank you.
Great. Thank you very much, everyone.
Bye.
Thank you.